Hello. In this video, I'm going to give a quick overview of MCA Suite's Funder features and functionalities. To hear about our broker features, please click the link to that demo in the description box below. MCA Suite is designed to manage all your MCA relationships, and one way of thinking of us is as a specialized address book. To that end, everyone you work with should be added as a contact in MCA Suite, since contacts are a big component driving our system. MCA Suite considers a contact to be either a company contact or a person contact. So for example, a merchant company and its owner. For every new contact you create, there is a contact type that will be selected. This is an essential designation as the contact type will determine how the contact will be used in the MCA process. A single contact can have multiple contact types. That's totally fine. Just make sure to choose the correct ones so that contact is used appropriately in the system. MCA Suite's second main component is the deal. A deal is created when a merchant applies for a cash advance. It is regarded in MCA Suite as a file consisting of several different parts until the deal is ultimately funded or declined. There are several ways direct funders can create new deals in MCA Suite. You can add deals manually, you can import them using our specialized template, you can set up a website to obtain this information from a leads page, or even have your ISO send information to MCA Suite via the MCA Suite API. Information on our API will be included in the description box below. But for the sake of the demo, I will stick to the manual process of creating deals. You can manually add deals to existing merchants. So for example, if I go back to my contacts list and do a quick search for merchant companies, I'll find an existing merchant, let's say Arena Home Repairs, click on that company page. From the company details page, I'll either click the plus deal button or I'll go to the deals tab on the left-hand side, and then from there click add new deal. Either button will take me to a new deals page with the company already copied over, Arena Home Repairs in this case, and this is how I can quickly add a new deal to this existing company. We only recommend doing this, of course, if you are working with a current merchant company. If, however, you are starting with a brand new file, meaning a new merchant, a new owner, and a new deal, the quickest way to add and associate all this data in one go is to use our MCA Suite application page. The quickest way to access the application page is to use the shortcut dashboard on the right-hand side. The application page will be the icon that looks like a sheet of paper. It says add an application. I'll click that, and that will take me to the new MCA application page. This is our recommended method for creating new deals. The MCA application page functions as a capture form. It enables you to create a new deal, company, and contact person/owner all at the same time. You only need to enter what is required, which are the fields with asterisks. So the amount requested, which will create the skeleton of the deal, the company name and DBA will automatically copy the DBA to be the same as the company name, but you can always edit it, of course, if it differs. And then the owner first and last name. So I'll go ahead and enter some information for the sake of the demo. But you are more than welcome to enter in more information if you have it available at this time. Whatever you enter here will copy over to the fuller deal once we create it after submitting the app. A quick word about any field that has a watermark, as Source Company does. There are a number of fields in MCA Suite that you can use to link the current page, in this case an application page, to an existing company to create a direct relationship. In this case, let's say a source or lead generation source company. With a normal text field, you would normally be able to enter something in and type and retain it. In this case, that doesn't work. The reason behind that is that there are a number of ways to enter the same company name. You can misspell it, abbreviate it, use some kind of slang, maybe a different name altogether, and that prevents you from actually creating a direct relationship between, in this case, the file and that company, or between two contacts together, etc. To prevent this and to prevent human error, we create these auto search fields, and you know that it's an auto search field because it has a watermark. And this goes back to what I mentioned about MCA Suite being like a specialized address book, because the idea is these fields will do a search against existing companies. So for example, if I wanted to link this file to a lead generation company, I'll start to type in the name of the company, and you can see that it drops down into a little drop-down bubble. I'll click it, and now that direct relationship is maintained. I'll put in a little bit more information just so you can see how it copies over to the rest of the deal. And like I said, you're welcome to put in as much information as you have available. Once you're happy with what you enter, you can click the Submit button, which will create the new file and the new deal in MCA Suite, or you have the option of clicking Submit an Email App. This button will actually merge the data that you've included on this page onto your actual application template and email it to the merchant at the same time you create the new app in MCA Suite. I'm not going to go over this particular feature during this demo, but for more information about the Email and Submit app feature, please see the demo linked in the description box below. On this page, you will also have the option to set permissions and assign users on the deal. Permissions and assign to are two different settings. Permissions is likely the more important, as this is the setting that actually controls who can view a particular page. And remember that the MCA Suite application controls three records: the company, the contact person / owner, and the deal. So whatever permissions you choose here will extend to all three of those pages. There are two main permission settings: everyone, which is the most global, meaning anyone with main system access can view pages with that setting. System users are defined as admins or agents. The most restrictive setting is the second option here, which we call User Plus. This setting means that the owner of the page has permission, so the creator of the page, in this case Karen Gibbons, which is my login name. Admins can also view the page because admins always have access to all parts of the system. And then whatever other agents I choose from the Add Another drop down here will also have access. So again, everyone is the most global and User Plus the most restrictive. Assign to just means you are assigning users, likely agents, to the deal. A user's assigned to deals will appear on their dashboard in their list of deals, and assigning users will also help you as an admin track who is responsible for which deals. Assigning a user a deal does not give him or her automatic access to the deal, however. So make sure that you choose the correct permission selections to complement assignments. So for example, if I wanted to assign this file to 2 agents, I'd have to make sure that the assignments match up to the permissions that I choose. So in addition to assigning it to them, I'll go ahead and choose them from the list down here as well. Once you're happy with the information you have entered, we'll go ahead and click Submit. We are now on the Deal Summary page. The MCA Suite application has created 3 records, as I've mentioned: the deal, the company, and the contact person / owner. One of the first things you might want to do at this point is update the status of the deal. To do that, you will click the second button on the shortcut dashboard that looks like a pencil that says Add a Note. A quick word about statuses. Statuses are fully customizable keywords you will choose to mark milestones in your deal. Whatever workflow you like to use, statuses can help you track this. Then statuses are manually updated via this Add a Note modal. Choose from your list of statuses here. Statuses will actually be created by the admin as part of setup. Again, keywords that match whatever workflow you like to use to track your deal. We'll go ahead and choose a status. You can add a note if you'd like to. It is optional. The only requirement is the actual status keyword. And if you'd like to alert users of this update, you can choose their names from the list of users here in the Email To box. Doing this will send the selected users a copy of the note and a link to the deal. This is also how you can implement internal notifications on deals by creating and disseminating deal notes. Once you're happy with your status note, just go ahead and click Save. And we now have an updated status on our deal. Statuses are important because they drive much of the reporting in MCA Suite, as well as enable you to categorize and more easily find your deals. So for example, if I go back to my deal search page, one of the filters we have available is called Status. I'll click on that. I'll choose the status we just updated, which was Application Sent. Click Add, and this will show me all of the deals currently in that status, including the deal that we just updated. You can export these results if you want to create a basic status report. Now let me click back into the deal. Next up is the Documents area. This is the underwriting/document repository portion of the deal. Each of the documents pages gives you the option to upload attachments and supporting documentation. And all these attachments are then aggregated in the Uploaded Files page. You can also move attachments around using this page. Go ahead and select the files that you want to recategorize. Choose the Categorize Selected Files button. Choose the new page where you would like them to go. And then we'll automatically move those files to that page. This just helps you organize and sort your documents more efficiently. Most of the pages here are manual entry and pretty straightforward, so I won't go into each one in depth. But there are a few integrations we have available I'd like to tell you about. We offer these integrations as additional features to enhance your funder platform. On the owner credit page, we work with microbills to pull the owner's credit reports. It will be a pull from the 3 major credit bureaus, and those reports will be automatically bundled at the bottom of the page in the attachment section. Moving on to bank statements, we work with microbills again to do an IBV, or an instant bank verification check, to verify the merchant account information is valid. Once this is verified, we also provide a microbill account balance check. We work with Decision Logic to pull actual merchant bank statements to this page, bundled in the attachment section below, as well as load some of the account and banking details at the top of the page in the respective fields. You will need to have accounts with microbills and Decision Logic to take advantage of these integrations. If you choose not to integrate with Decision Logic, that is perfectly fine. You can instead upload all documents to this page manually in the attachment section below, and enter information in details where MCA Suite can help calculate totals and averages using the fields here. Next, the checklist page. The checklist page allows you to create a customized universal checklist of items you typically always require for the deal. You can create the customized checklist during setup in the admin section. Some items might include signed application, 6 months of processing statements, 6 months of bank statements, driver's license, lease agreements, etc. Within the deal checklist, users can mark off items as approved and/or received, and we will timestamp the items with the username and time and date they were marked off. This allows you to create an accountability trail for what is being marked as received, approved, etc. You can also add items unique only to this deal in the text field here, and this will only update to this particular deal checklist, not to the universal checklist that populates to all your deals. You can also upload attachments to the checklist page for reference here. Once we are done with underwriting, it's time now to go to the actual deal details. If you are directly funding the deal, the page you'd likely visit next is the Deal Details page. This is where you can set up basic parameters of the offer before funding. Most of the fields at the top of the page are optional and serve mainly as reference on the deal. The meat and potatoes of this page is the contract term section here. This is where you will specify metrics such as advance amount, factor, payback, term, etc. Advance amount is copied from the amount requested entered on the MCA application page. You can either enter a factor to calculate the payback, or put in the payback and we'll back divide to get the factor. Either way works in this case. You can link yourselves as a funder at this point if you'd like. And that way you can have a list of all your directly funded deals versus your broker deals if you are a funder-broker hybrid, or just if you're a funder to have a list of all your funded deals. You can then set the number of payments. We do number of payments instead of an actual length of time for the term of the deal in order to create an exact payment calendar for you to predict when payments are expected and highlight any that might be late or missing. You can either enter the number of payments and estimate the expected daily rate, or you can put in the daily rate and use that to estimate the number of payments, or you can manually enter both of those items. Now to the collection method area. You can set up collections information now or on the deal tracking page once we track this deal. We generally collect through ACH, so MCA Suite can help calculate the number of payments required to get the expected payback from the merchant. If you plan to upload your ACH payments information to MCA Suite using our spreadsheet method, you will want to specify the collector on the deal as well as the merchant ID number, or the merchant number. The merchant number is basically any unique signifier that ties transactions to a specific deal. This might be an account or contract number you already have established with a bank, or a unique ID you assign the deal on the spot. Merchant numbers can be alphanumeric, only to be unique to each new deal. So we'll go ahead and assign a collector and merchant number for this deal. You can see collector has a watermark, so that lets you know it is an auto search field. So you'll have to have your collectors already created in the system before you can do this linking to deals. I'll go ahead and put in my collector name. Again, it drops down in that little drop-down bubble. And I'll add a merchant number. It can be alphanumeric, consisting of both letters and numbers if you'd like. Once you're happy with all the details you have entered, you can click Save either at the bottom of the page or at the top. Now that all the information has been entered and we have at minimum an advance amount and factor, we are ready to fund this deal and put it into deal tracking. To properly mark a deal as funded in MCA Suite, you will need to track the deal. To do so, click the Track Deal button either on the Deal Details page, which we now have because we've put in at minimum the amount requested and the factor. So we can click the Track Deal button here, or back on the Summary page, we can click Track Deal here. Doing so takes you to a page where you are prompted to enter funding details. You will enter the funded date of the deal, as well as the collection start date. The collection start date might be different than the funded date, i.e. later, depending on when you start collecting. So we ask this in order to create a more accurate payment schedule for the deal. Accordingly, we also ask you to specify a collection schedule. Banking days is the most common schedule, but you can choose any of these options or customize your own collection schedule here. So for example, choose 1 day a week if you're expecting weekly payments instead of daily payments. You can also include an admin fee or junk fee here, which will deduct from the net advance sent to the merchant. So you can see my net advance went from $25,000 to $24,000 after putting in that admin fee. And this will also revise the factor on the deal since we have adjusted the advance amount. The rest of the info is pulled from the estimated numbers we entered in Deal Details. Once you're happy with all the information entered, click Save. This is our deal tracking page, a page you will refer to and update regularly as a funder user. Unlike other systems, MCA Suite captures 3 stages of the deal to better manage the performance of your cash advance. We show the deal at the point of the contract, which is the original deal details, the actual funding information, which are the funds actually provided to the merchant, and then the post-funding and payment details that will change over the course of the deals as your payments are made, fees or discounts added, commissions scheduled, etc. These will be the amounts you are always trying to collect. On deal tracking, we offer you the additional options to syndicate, refinance, or default this deal, which hopefully never happens. Please check the description box below for additional information on syndication, refinance, and defaulting a deal. There are 3 ways to get payments to be tied to a funded deal in MCA Suite. 1. Work with one of our integration partners and have the daily debits show up automatically to the deal once the payments have settled with the processor. We currently work with ACH Works and Actum. If you have accounts with either ACH Works or Actum, we can help you set up the integration so the payments automatically post to the deal without further intervention from you after the initial setup. For more information on our available payment integrations, please see the related links in the description box below. 2. You can upload a series of transactions from your bank or processor using our import method, which MCA Suite can tie to the deal. Or 3, what I'm going to show you now, which is by manually adding a payment to the deal. So on our deal tracking page, if we go to the transactions area, this is our transactions table, we'll click the add transaction button and a modal appears. You can select a merchant number if you'd like, it's not required, but I'll go ahead and choose the ID that we selected on the deal details page. Give a description. Choose a type. Manual is a repayment against the balance of the deal. Fee does not count towards the balance of the deal, but it increases the expected payback. And a discount also does not count towards the balance of the deal, but it decreases the expected payback. So fee increases the payback and discount decreases the payback. I'll go ahead and choose manual. Give your transaction a date and an amount. And when you're done, click save. Scrolling now to the payment details area of deal tracking, we can see that the amount repaid has been recorded. That reflects the $300 transaction that we posted, and the amount outstanding has been reduced accordingly. The repayment rate, or what some funders might call the pays, has also updated. Let's go now to another deal to see an active payment calendar page, speaking of repayment rate. The payment calendar page helps you track expected versus actual payments and will give you a snapshot or a picture of the performance of your deal. Any weekends or holidays are highlighted, and any discrepancies between expected versus actual payments will be totaled in the total in arrears section here. So we are completely on pace with this deal except for the current payment from today, which has yet to be collected. The system thinks that it hasn't been collected yet, so that's why it appears in the arrears section here. These differences will also affect repayment rate. That's why we're not quite at 100%, we're slightly off, but again, by the end of the day, we'll be back to 100. For right now, this gives you a snapshot of the deal, the payments that you've collected versus what you have expected, and your current repayment rate. Now let me go back to the deal that we were working on, the brand new deal. We've done a lot here and must not forget to mark the deal with a funded status. Once again, to add a deal note, click on the pencil icon in the right-hand shortcut key dashboard, which is this icon here. Choose your status. We are now funded. Add a note if you'd like, not required. Email the note internally to users you would like to update as to the updated status, and then click Save. You can also add transactions to a deal by uploading payments, as I've mentioned. To do this, you will need to use a template, either our template or a custom template based on a report you might already receive from your bank. And for more information on that process, also see the link in the description box below. The custom template must include all our required fields, but you'll let the system know exactly where those required columns are. So your transaction date column might not be where ours is, but you'll just say it's column A or column B, whatever it might be, so the system knows exactly where to look for that information. For the sake of the demo, though, I'm going to stick to our dedicated template, which is here. The required fields or columns for transactions upload are the collector, which is the bank name, the date of the transaction, the merchant number, which is that unique merchant ID that we assign to the deal, the name of the merchant, and the amount of the transaction. Description and type are optional fields, and if you recall, we took care to add the collector and the merchant ID to the deal exactly for this reason, so that I could then upload the payments and show you how the transactions import. So let's go ahead and add a few lines. I'll go back to this deal just for a refresher as to the collector and merchant ID that we used. If you go to deal tracking, you can scroll down to the collection method, and that information will have copied over from deal details. Or if you did not add that information on the deal details page, you can add it at this point in deal tracking and just save. I'll go ahead and copy the collector. And the merchant number. And the name of my merchant, which is Cinephile Productions. The name is not actually as important as the merchant ID number. If you do misspell the merchant name, that is okay. It's the merchant number that really is the key identifier that'll help the system know exactly where to apply the transactions, which is again why that merchant ID number is so important. Okay, so this deal funded on the 22nd of July. So I'll just go ahead and add in a couple of transactions to reflect that. Use the same collector. And you can have multiple merchants on the same spreadsheet. I'm just doing the one for the sake of the demo, but that's fine. You can have multiple merchants included as long as, again, you have the unique merchant number that ties directly to that deal and the corresponding collector for the deal. Go ahead and add some amounts. Actually, let me add a possible duplicate transaction just to show you what that would look like. Okay. Once you're happy with the spreadsheet that you've composed, go ahead and save it. It needs to be saved as a CSV format. If you download our template, it'll already be in the CSV format. And then to import it, you need to be an admin in order to import because the importing happens from the admin section. We'll go to the admin link. It goes right to the import transactions area. So we're in the import tab under transactions. Go ahead and browse for your file, or you can drag and drop it. You would choose the format, either default or whatever custom one you've created. We only have the default for now. And once you're ready, click process. Okay, we had a relatively small file, so on this page we show you exactly how many lines processed. If it were a larger file, you would be emailed a report showing the results of the import. We do that just so that you can keep working in case the file is large. We don't want you to time out or be obstructed from further work that you need to do. We will show you a confirmation of what happened with the import. So what lines imported or did not import. If any line errored for any reason, we don't stop the import altogether. We just skip over those lines, and then we'll show you the lines that were problematic and why they didn't import. A couple of reasons why a line might error: if the merchant does not exist, if the company does not exist in the system, if the collector and the merchant ID did not match up. So if you put in the wrong collector and then also the wrong merchant ID number, it might error for that reason. If a transaction is too early, if it's a month before the funded date, it'll error, etc. But we'll show you exactly why the line errored, so you can go ahead and make a correction. You can either undo the import entirely if you'd like. You can see here under last transaction imports, we show you a list of the last few spreadsheets that you've imported. You have the option to undo altogether and start again, or you have the option just to upload the lines that errored themselves. Now to go to the deal that we worked on, go back to my deal search page, click on the deal, click on deal tracking, and then scroll back down to the transactions table. You can see our imported transactions appear as an upload type versus the manual one that I added earlier. If you recall, I mentioned putting in intentional possible dupe Transactions, just to show you what they look like, we highlight any potential dupes in yellow, and we identify a dupe or a potential dupe as a transaction on the same day in the same amount. So you can see I have 2 transactions for $500 on the 22nd, which is why we flag them. If it is a dupe, just go ahead, check it off, and delete it. If not, you can just ignore and leave it as B. It's very possible that multiple transactions for the same amount posted on the same day. And if you do delete, the payment details will correct themselves to reflect the deleted or updated transactions. You can also export this list of transactions into an Excel spreadsheet to create a report for yourself. This concludes our demo of MCA Suite's Funder platform. Thank you for allowing me to provide you with a quick walkthrough of our basic Funder features. Please contact us at info@mcasuite.com to schedule a personal demo. You can also visit our FAQ and knowledge base at support.mcasuite.com for additional information about the hundreds of other features we have available that I did not run through in this introductory demo. Thank you for your time and interest in MCA Suite.